Welcome back. Here's the Kovacs report. It's time to take a look at Superman 28. So before I get into this, disclaimer, I'm not hugely knowledgeable about Superman. He's never been a character that I've loved, but I have read lots of sort of, I don't know, alternative tales like Red Sun and some of the Elseworld books and all those kind of things. I thoroughly enjoyed them. However, I've never really got into the mainline Superman, so I thought this was a really good time to jump in because it all ties in with the Darkseid all-in event that has been spreading across the DC books for some time. And of course, it's Dan Mora art, so you can't say no, as well as Joshua Williamson penning it. So I'm going to dive into it page by page. I'm going to give you my thoughts as a new Superman reader. So forgive me if I get things wrong, but let me know in the comments if I do. Like the video if you like the video, and hit subscribe. Apparently, you get superpowers when you click it, so let me know what you get. It's like the Terrigen Mists in Marvel. So let's get into this book. I'm going to say I have read it, and it did completely change my opinion on Superman for the better. So here we go. The art in this book is just divine, honestly. Wow, it was breathtaking to look at. I absolutely loved the character designs. I loved that some of the panels are just kinetic and electric, and everything about it just oozed goodness. So we start off here, and there's these three people having a conversation about Superman and his effects on the world, and his effects outside of the world, across the galaxy and across future. One of them is a bit disparaging, like, big whoop, who's he? Who do you think he is? They're not really impressed with this guy. They're sort of looking at him and thinking, why is he so special? But we do have these boxes at the bottom which says, it's like he's the epicenter of everything our master hates, right? So, and that's where we kind of think, okay, who are these guys? Who is their master? It's Darkseid. Anyway, we jump to Superman, and he's paid a little visit to old Mark Kent back in Smallville to pick a little item up, and that's a Legion of Superheroes ring, who he's a member of. Now, they're like a future superhero group, I guess, and I know there's lots of stories where he joins them and they're legendary. I haven't read them all. I've read a little bit, so I know a little bit, so I know how important this is, and I know that it had a huge effect on Superman and the Superman stories. So Mars there, she's saying, hey, are you going to stay for dinner? Pa Kent's gone out and he's got some steaks, and he said, I can hear him chatting to the butcher, and I love that. I think it's really, really clever what Joshua Williamson does here. It's sort of, you get to know Superman's sort of powers without really being told, hey, I have super hearing. And the thing is, it's like if he was a superhero, that's what you would do. You go, oh, yeah, I can hear him. So it's really well written. It's never forced. I loved it. Anyway, they have a nice chit chat. And he's reminiscing, and he talks about what happened back in Superman Summer Special, right? So there was a fight with a huge creature called Validus, right? An enemy of the Legion from the future. And he said Validus is one of the Legion's most powerful and deadly adversaries, yet he was scared, running from something. I'm worried about my friends, Mark. I need to travel to them to make sure they're okay. So this is what this is all about. He wants to go travel to see the Legion of Superheroes and make sure everything's okay, right? Because he's Superman, right? He does everything good. So, she loves him. She gives him a kiss. And what I do like about this is that, Clark Kent, he's this bumbling reporter, as you know, but he's a man, and then Superman is like the main man. But when he's at home with Ma, you see that sort of real soft, gentle, affectionate, just a little farm boy from Kansas. And I love it. It really, really, really does wrap Superman up for me in just a couple of pages. Anyway, he pops out to this tree. I'm guessing this is a way of him getting there or contacting them. But before he can do anything, one of these legions of superheroes says hello, and it's Imra. So I guess this is Saturn Girl, if I'm right. And she goes, Imra, question mark, him? Huh. No one has called me that name since I threw my parents into the murder pits of Metropolis. So he's like, what? This is getting strange. So the way she's talking, that she's not the Saturn Girl that he knew, all right? And she's not there to be friends, right? She goes, I'm here to understand why Darkseid sees you as a threat, because they can't understand why their god looks at this little man, this little, Kryptonian on a faraway planet and fears him. So this is where it all breaks out, because Cosmic Boy and Lightning Lad are also near, and they're debating what to do with the Justice League Watchtower out in space, right? And this is really, really cool because they're very nonchalant. You've got mech powers. Why don't you do this? He goes, no, I've got a better idea. And he just starts crushing it and compressing it, and everyone's trying to get out. Like, I think Mr. Terrific here looks like he gets squished, and I hope he doesn't, because I'm reading Mr. Terrific now for the first time, and I love the character. Anyway, they absolutely decimate the Watchtower. Superman, obviously, he knows what's going on, so he flies up, and this huge battle in space ensues, all right? And then suddenly, he disappears. He disappears. The man he's fighting disappears, old Cosmic Boy, and he can hear Mark Kent in trouble. He's like, I'm gonna go and sort something out here. I'm gonna go and make you cry. So before he could do anything, we see Mark Kent absolutely electrified to death, and he loses it. He's punching him. Why? He's absolutely losing it. His hands are bloodied, and then suddenly he realizes someone's messing with my mind. It's Saturn Girl, and he knows he's still back in that field. And this is where it all goes even more intergalactically crazy, right? So they walk through his memories. Now he's fighting it off because he's Superman, right? And we get lots of little important things from Superman's history here, and it's all about why Darkseid. It's all about Darkseid coming, right? And they're really confused, like I say, why Superman's a threat. So they're out there, they're pushing him, they're testing him, and they really, really run him through the mill until at the last second where Superman looks like he's going to, succumb to her powers. Old Time Trapper, who I've been told is in the other books, chasing through time, bringing us this Darkseid story. So he intervenes and he socks her one and he rescues Superman. Now she's really pissed about this. Before she can do anything, a voice is heard in her head because you were not to engage with Superman. You disobeyed me, Saturn Girl. You will return to me. You will gather my legion. There is another that could endanger my plans, one that you must protect. And she goes, of course, Darkseid is. And then she kind of beams out of there. Wow, absolutely amazing. I've been on the edge of my seat the entire book. Anyway, Superman says, we have to go back to Smallville. My mother is still there. And Time Trapper's like, no, we can't do this, right? We can't do this. He's like, I'm going back now. Like, he is getting super angry. This is his mother, right? He loves her. And he's saying, listen, if we go back there now, right, you are sacrificing potentially the rest of the world to save one person, when we can go here and save them all. He says, listen, don't you get it? What is at stake now is bigger than any one life. Saturn Girl was right. Your mother will be better off dead if Darkseid returns. To save her and everyone else, you must first save the future. And he says, but I cannot go on this journey with you. After we last fought, I returned to the future and found Darkseid's legion waiting for me. They tortured me for information on you. I barely escaped and returned to your watchtower looking for help. My allies stayed there while I went to find you. They need my help, but my goal now is to distract the legion as you travel ahead. And then suddenly they're in Smallville. He says, but not my Smallville. It hasn't looked like this since I was a kid. Where are we? He says, years ago, I created a pocket timeline outside the known universe. It was perfect for hiding an important part of your story. Someone from different era that I knew could help us with the challenges ahead. And they were introduced to Superboy Prime. And he just sounds badass because I don't know much about his character. His first line is, you ready to kill some nerds? And yes, I'm in. Honestly, if I wasn't a Superman fan before, I think I definitely am now. Like I say, everything about this book was so well paced, so well written. I'm loving the characters already. I want to know more about the Legion. I want to know more about Saturn Girl because she looks amazing, right? And I want to know where this is going. So for me, this is a huge recommend as a big first-time reader of Superman's current storylines, and I am absolutely captivated. So that is my review. Those are my thoughts. Please do let me know yours. Subscribe if you can. Like the video too. We'll see you soon.